Hey, so welcome back. Tonight I watched Tron Legacy, a movie that I know a lot of my friends were kind of geeking out about, but I honestly did not care. It just was in my Netflix queue and it came up, so I figured I'd watch it. It's a sequel to Tron from 1982, kind of like a pioneering special effects movie from Disney way back in the year I was born. And in honor of Tron, I'm glowing blue hair or purple, I guess it looks like. I don't know. Anyways, Um, so I'm not gonna be the expert on what Tron's all about because I don't remember. I saw the first one when I was really little. I don't remember it, but this one, it's the story is pretty goofy. Uh, it's pretty hard to take seriously. It's basically this guy named what was his name? Kevin Flynn, played by Jeff Bridges. Way back in the 80s, he somehow found a way to get inside of a computer program. He was basically entered the digital world. It was called the Grid, and for some reason, games were played there, like basically primitive video games. There's like a light cycle game. There's a disc battle game. Don't ask me to explain why. Um, and he created some AIs in the world. He created one after himself called Clue, which I think stands for Collaborative Lighting Unit or something. But it's basically like in the image of himself, this computer program, and the AI was supposed to create the perfect world, or no, the perfect system, and um, but I guess Jeff Bridges, Kevin Flynn, got sucked into this world back in the 80s, and no one ever saw from him again. And now it's present day, and his son has grown up. And his son, his father's business partner, gets a page from his father at his old arcade that he owned. And the son, he's like in his 20s. He goes there and he finds his way into the computer program at this arcade. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And he gets there and he finds out his father's been trapped inside this virtual world, and Clue, the AI that his father had made, um, has basically gone crazy, and is hell bent on, I think, getting out of the system and bringing himself and all the other programs inside the computer out into the real world. To do what? I don't know. I don't know what's supposed to happen when he gets into the real world. They don't really say. There's lots of things in this that are just kind of left unexplained or underdeveloped. Um, so it's completely goofy. But the thing is, it's strangely enough, it's entertaining. I had a fun time watching it. Probably the best things about it are the visuals. It just looks really cool. All this neon lighting and stuff would look really cool in it probably looked cool in 3D, honestly. But I would love to see this on Blu-ray because the visuals are awesome. The only thing that's weird is the AI, modeled after Jeff Bridges, and also the younger Jeff Bridges that they show in the 80s, like the real version of him. They use like CGI to do it, and it's a little off-putting. It looks like a very advanced video game. It looks like LA Noire, which is weird. Other than that, though, the visuals are just amazing, and the sound is spectacular. This would be great to see on Blu-ray for those reasons. The soundtrack is done by Daft Punk, and it's just a great techno soundtrack that just brought me back to the 80s. Just really cool music, man. I wish more movies had music like this. So those two things alone, it made it fun. On top of that, the girls in this movie are just beautiful, unbelievably hot. Especially one that is sort of a main character named Cora, who's played by Olivia Wilde. Just one of the hottest women I've ever seen. Um, and it's fun. There's good action sequence, like the lights cycle sequence that happens early on is pretty damn exciting. And even when there's not action sequences going on, it's just kind of cool to look at. Um, I think if you take this movie too seriously, like thinking it has something to say, you're kind of a fool. It really doesn't have much to say. There's interesting ideas in it. That's the weird thing, and I feel like if some of them would have been developed more, it could have been better. Like, for example, like this computer program, this AI who is programmed to create the perfect system. He just kind of goes crazy and he wants to get out of the system. I thought I was like watching it. I'm like, oh, it would be cool if the reason he like went after the real Jeff Bridges, and stuff is because he wanted to create the perfect system, but humans were imperfect. They didn't fit in the perfect system. And there's kind of like a hint of that, but none of the ideas are fully developed. He wants to get out of the system, but you don't know why. Um, there's these new programs that come into existence inside the system that came out of nowhere. No one created them. There's no originator, uh, and so they're special to Jeff Bridges. He thought they were a miracle, but why? What do they represent? What does it mean? What does it mean if like one of them gets out of the system? I don't know. I think if you look for too much meaning in this movie, you're looking for too much meaning. It's pretty ridiculous, but it's pretty fun. And like I said, it's a visual and audio visual feast. Real treat when it comes to that. Uh, so that's about it. I mean, there's not too much to say. I mean, Jeff Bridges is good in it. I love how Jeff Bridges, no matter what he's playing, no matter what role, he's always basically a stoner. He's always basically Jeff Bridges, and it's just like there's just some lines in this where he's like, "It's digital jazz, man." Like you're just like, how does he get away with doing this? Because he's Jeff Bridges, and it's awesome. The guy that plays the son, Garrett Hedlund, he's okay. He's fine. Cora, Olivia Wilde, she's beautiful. The rest of the people are pretty much minor characters. Another hot girl in this is Bo Garrett, who plays Jem. She's a program in the system. I don't know, man. I feel like saying too much about this would be a waste. It's just, if you want a fun, it was basically like a fun popcorn summer type movie that came out around Christmas. But I don't know how fans of the original Tron feel about it. Like I said, I'm not a fan of it. Haven't seen it in 30 years or almost 30 years. I don't know how they feel about it, but just going in completely blank, I had a fun time with it. Really, just see this in the best possible TV and get a Blu-ray of it. Have a couple drinks, whatever. It's fun for that. Uh, Besides it being kind of dumb and silly, it is a bit long. I think it was over 2 hours. I'll check real quickly to make sure here, but the movie was long. Uh, fuck, 125 minutes. Yeah, that's just a bit long. I'm sorry. There's definitely fat that could have been cut out. But it was an okay time. I had fun. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 stars. So that's my take on Tron Legacy. Let me know what you thought of it. Laters.